Am I the asshole? For not telling my ex-wife I got married again. I 28 meters was married to my ex-wife for 2 years before we divorced because I realized I was gay. I had been out as bi from age 16 as I knew I liked men but also liked women. However, I realized when I was 24 that I didn't like women. So I told my wife I wanted a divorce but said I was happy to co-parent our 1-year-old. She agreed. We both lived in London until recently I moved to Switzerland to live with my now husband and we got married there. I didn't invite my ex as she had a new boyfriend who me and our little boy don't like, and I knew he would definitely say something homophobic at the wedding. I have complete custody of our son as he wanted to live with me and my ex agreed. Now our son was at the wedding and looked so smart, so I sent photos to my ex and she started messaging me and calling me telling me I am so rude for not inviting her or even telling her, and she did. She wanted our son back with her. I said no, and now all her family are messaging me saying I am an asshole and should have told her. I'd if I am or not. Note the agreement about custody was in court and she knew at the time I had a fiancé, so I'd what she was expecting to happen in the future. I am editing the post now to just give some information that some people might have needed. My son is 5 currently, he was 1 when we divorced. My son visits her all summer and some school breaks. Also in the UK they asked my son who he wanted to live with, but that was only a little bit of the reason I got custody. Also I sent the photos with a message that said look how smart he looks at my wedding, so I told her in the message. Info: how old is your son now? You say he is 1 but was also able to pick who he stayed with. Everybody sucks here. Her outrage over not being invited to the wedding is silly. Taking offense at you not even telling her about it is pretty normal. If your relationship is such that you're sending photos to your ex-wife, then your relationship is also such that you should have mentioned Joe and I are getting married this weekend. I'll send some pictures of little Bobby in his suit next week. A simple getting married text would not have killed you. If she's still involved in her son's life, knowing major life events are happening is a valid complaint. No need to invite her to. Do we have a can everyone just do better tag? Sigh. ETA literally says points up to post no need to invite her. A lot of people seem mad I said invite her when I said the exact opposite. Since you have a child together, letting her know would have been the right thing to do. She's over the line saying you should have invited her. Feels like a lot of hidden info here. You are bi and married and right after having kids suddenly you are gay. She is okay with co-parent but you need to go to court? Because you want to take the kid to another country? It really feels like you set her up so that you can have a bio kid. Fake, what court lets a toddler pick custody? And to add to this, if it is real it's not, why the fuck would anyone care about the opinion of a parent who willingly gives up their child? Agreeing with most people that it could have been communicated as a courtesy, especially since you share a child. Mate, you should have told her. No need to invite her. Or if, told her she knows how her boyfriend is and you respect them enough not to say we invite you but not him, as they are a team. Call her and apologize for not informing her. You don't have to inform her, no, but it would have been nice to keep her in the loop. You gave her the feeling that she isn't an active part in your son's life and she just gets aside information later. She already gave you primary custody and let him move with you, so have some grace and have her more involved. How old was your son when the custody thing happened? Should have at least informed her for your son's sake. Even though you have complete custody, she still should know her son's living arrangements. Your son wanted to live with you and your ex was in agreement, hopefully for your son's sake. What happens if he decides to change his mind and wants to go back to her for whatever reason? Out of simple respect, since your situation is amicable, you should at least keep her informed. Not the asshole since she already knew you had a fiancé. Congrats on the wedding. While you were under no obligation to invite her, you could have mentioned that the wedding was happening. However, from her reaction she probably would have tried to crash it and cause an scene. If you were going to bother to send her a photo, you could have given her a heads up, we are getting married and our son will be dressed up. I will send you few photos of him. Track BF homophobic comments, check his social media if you can and screenshot and save just in case she tries to take you back to court. Not the asshole after the note. She knew you were engaged. I'm not entirely sure how getting married is such a shock. God. Can't imagine being married to someone and only a year after I gave birth they tell me they're just not into women anymore, so fuck me. I think you're full of malarkey. You attribute a lot of opinions to a 1-year-old, such as deciding he wants to you and doesn't like ex's boyfriend. Really? JC. You're also an asshole for marrying your ex when you were so ambivalent about your sexuality, then having a baby with her. You should do better and cut her some slack. You effed her over multiple times. ESH, you are not married to each other anymore. But you do co-parent and have a child together. You don't have to invite her, but would it have killed you to just send her a quick and short text? How can you say that your 1-year-old wanted to live with you with a straight face? Drool once for living with mommy, drool twice for living with daddy? You're the asshole. You said you're co-parenting, she has the right to know that her son is gaining a stepfather. You didn't have to invite her, but neglecting to tell her you were getting married and then sending her photos from the wedding was extremely immature. It doesn't matter that you don't like her boyfriend, she's still your son's mother and has the right to know about big changes in his life. You're the asshole for not telling her. Not the asshole for not inviting her. Step-parents have rights in many countries. Even if your fiancé was included in the current custody order, those rights after marriage may increase or change. She has a right to know about the substantial change to the circumstances of her son. Besides the fact that engagements can end, can be short, can be long. When exactly were you planning to tell her? Thoughtful face. Before the wedding seemed like the best time, especially since you share a kid and are now raising that kid with your new spouse. How did your 1-year-old son decide to live with you? That's pretty impressive for a 1-year-old. Other than how your spouse treats her, your child, it's none of her business. Since you do have a child, a heads up would have been nice, but not the asshole. Mild, you're the asshole for not just sending her a note a week before the wedding. As you said, she knew you were engaged, but still it would have been courteous. You're the asshole. Not telling your ex about your wedding then sending her pictures of it seems like an obvious dick move to me. You didn't need to invite her for obvious reasons, but at least let her know, because when co-parenting your situation is important to her. You had a duty to tell your ex-wife about the changes in your life as they pertain to your shared offspring. You're the asshole, my dude. It was a basic communication and you failed to do the necessary thing. It's fine that she wasn't invited to the wedding as a guest. It's just not okay to omit details and then hope she is pleased you didn't talk to her. It's a bit odd to send photos before even telling her you're getting married. ESH. ESH, whether you have custody or not, you have a child with your ex. Telling her you got married should have been a given. Even if she knew you were engaged, you could just have told her that you finally did it and you and husband tied the knot. Ex is being an hour because she's acting like this is life-changing for her child when he already lives with you. You were engaged and your ex knew. Who cares what your ex's family thinks? They're her family, not yours. You're in another country and have full custody of your son. Their opinion doesn't matter. Just delete their texts. Why would a court allow you to move out of country and also give you sole custody instead of split or at least weekends with mom? Yes, you should have told her. You were under no obligation to invite her, but major events that affect your child also affect her. You're the asshole. Hurt her. Your kid's mother deserves to be told you've remarried. You're the asshole. You're letting a 5-year-old decide parental custody? That's weird.